life, almost every person has tried beer before, but do you know where beer came from and just how popular it is? Today I would like to share with you a brief history of beer, as well as some interesting facts and statistics about the different types of beer and the popularity of beer in America. I have enjoyed beer for the past 8 years and love trying different kinds of beer. I've tried over 100 kinds of beer in my life, and I also have worked in bars for about 4 years and have learned quite a bit about different kinds of beer. In ancient times, beer started in 4300 BC. We know this because we found tablets from the Babylonians that had recipes of how they learned how to make beer. Beer was made originally from grains and water before they even figured out how to make bread. In different cultures, they used different types of grains. In Africa, they used maize or millet, where in North America we use more persimmon, and in Japan they used rice, which they still use today for sake. In order to flavor beer in the ancient cultures, they would use dandelion, hay, and even crab legs or oyster shells. In ancient Egypt, the doctors would prescribe beer, and they found prescriptions for over 100 different medical problems that beer was prescribed for. Now that you understand the ancient history of beer, let's go into a little bit of history from America and beer. The first brewery in America started in 1612 in New York City. By the 1880s, there were over 2,300 different breweries in America. Unfortunately, due to the Prohibition, most breweries had to close, and by 1935, only 160 breweries still existed. Beer was originally aimed and directed towards men, blue-collared men, and has since become popular among many different diverse cultures. In 1991, the United States was the top producer of beer with 20% of the world's production. And now that we've covered a brief history of beer, let's move on to some information and statistics about different types of beer. First, I would like to explain to you some of the major types of beer we have, and a little bit about them. The first beer I'm going to talk about is an ale. In America, this is the most popular type of beer we have, as you will see later on in my speech, just how popular ales are in America. This is about 5% alcohol and easy to drink, and you can buy it almost anywhere. This includes any of your Bud Lights, Miller Lights, Coors Lights, or Natural Lights. Another type of beer that's growing in popularity is the Indian Pale Ale, or an IPA. These can be a bit hoppy and are sometimes an acquired taste. Some examples of IPAs would be a Red Hook, Magic Hat, or Sam Adams. Thirdly, a lager is a very popular type of beer, and many people have tried it or really enjoy the flavor. Different types of lagers would be a Yingling or an Amberbock. These are kept cold all through the brewing process and kept at 32 degrees while you're drinking them as well for the best flavor. A fourth type of beer is a cider. Many women, I've noticed, tend to like ciders better because they have a very fruity taste to them. They use sugar and apple concentrate or juice to flavor most ciders. Strongbow or Woodchuck would be an example of these ciders. A stout is another common beer. Everybody's heard of Guinness, and as some can know, it's a little bit of an acquired taste. It's a lot thicker and a darker coloring, and they can range anywhere from a chocolatey taste to a coffee taste. Lastly, I would like to talk about malt liquor or malt beer, which usually comes in 40 ounces, not down here in Florida because we don't sell 40 ounces, but in many other states, 40 ounces is what they sell malt liquor in. These are kept extremely cold because they do not taste very good at all if they warm up. They are meant for drinking quickly and have a high alcohol content per volume to get intoxicated faster. Let's talk a little bit about the consumption of beer in America. In America in 2011, 6.3 billion gallons of beer were consumed. New Hampshire consumed the most amount of beer with 43 gallons per person over the age of 21. In the entire United States, it averaged to about 28 gallons per person of alcohol a year. The top 5 best-selling brands of alcohol or brands of beer in America are one Bud Light with $5.9 billion, Coors Light with $2.3 billion, Budweiser is $2.1 billion, Miller Lite at $1.9 billion, and Natural Light at $1.1 billion. Today you have learned a bit about the history of beer as well as some facts about different types of beer and statistics of consumption. In conclusion, I hope learning a little bit more about beer will encourage you to try something new and enjoy the time and effort that it took to brewing the beer. Let's not let wine get all the attention. Beer can be very versatile, delicious, and an art in the way of brewing it.